Welcome to the Tradier Rundown. I am Jim Urio. That's Bob Ichino. Together, the two of us, we are the hosts of Tradier's The Trader's Edge, which airs on the Tradier Hub live at 3 p.m. Central Time, Wednesday afternoon. Robert, did you hear something about an election? I don't know. I must have been, I didn't know there was something like that going on.
As dad joke as that is, I love that intro. I don't know why. It makes me laugh every time you say it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're looking at sort of the aftermath of that. The rundown is about copper, which I think is appropriate because there's a lot of sort of layers as to what can happen here. But let me ask you real quick. What was your reaction to the exaggerated moves? You remember when Donald Trump won in 2016, market crashed overnight, then rallied back and basically stayed up for an extended period of time. What do you think about the moves now? And I guess we should talk industrial and probably precious metals, right?
Right. So yes, and I particularly, I think the industrial metal part of it is very, very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to create the puzzle, the things that I saw today and why some things didn't make sense unless you view them from a different lens. But 10-year break evens went from 2.31 to 2.44 on Donald Trump's being elected, meaning that the market is saying quite clearly that he is more inflationary. 10-year yields rose to 4.45%. The market is saying that Donald Trump is clearly more inflationary and rates might be higher to have to support that. Okay, gold gets clobbered. It down 80 bucks, right? However, Bitcoin rallies 4,000 bucks, but that Trump has said in the past, as has now that Senator Cynthia, whatever her name is, that we are going to have a Bitcoin reserve, a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So Bitcoin fits into the new paradigm of Trump presidency too. Gold, maybe the dollar rallied. Not as much of a global panic if Trump's president. Maybe. I'm not sure of that. People who might be pointing fingers. But so gold gets knocked down because Bitcoin, maybe there ain't room enough for both of us in this town or whatever the hell that old Western thing is. So maybe that's what's happening. Now, on to the industrial metals. Copper gets absolutely hammered. Down what? 2.5 to 3%, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So copper, could it be getting, and I know I'm ranting, but
time out. 5.3%.
Geez, so 5.3%. Copper gets hammered today. Okay, so what makes sense about that? If we're saying that Trump is going to be moving away from the Green New Initiative and that less things are going to be electrified to lessen the need for copper. Okay, great. But then that would kind of mean that something like palladium should have done quite well because it would have meant going back towards combustion engines, and it didn't. So that means to me that this was just the dollar got stronger, rates are higher, everything got pummeled because of a strong dollar, and then we're going to sort it out later. So I personally think copper was like throwing out the baby with the bathwater because China's not going away, their demand. The Green Initiative, California just announced some big, huge green initiative today with billions and billions of dollars. They don't care about spending money that they don't have. So those things are still going to exist on the state level. But now I want to know your thoughts on it.
Well, I want to throw out what I think, as you and I say all the time, things are usually a three-headed monster, not a two-headed monster, right? So I think the three-headed monster, and bear with me a second, we saw every equity market across the world go up except China. We saw the Russell outperform. What is the Russell? The Russell is a basket of companies that make most of their money domestically, right? And we saw copper go down. To me, the play that we're seeing here is the anticipation of President-elect Trump trying to squeeze China, and therefore reducing China's copper demand. That's where I think we sort of make sense of what we're seeing today. But I'll go back to what James Fishback told us a while back: take Trump literally, but not serious. No, take Trump seriously, but not literally.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Maybe this might be a generational copper bias, what I'm trying to say.
Right, and it did come right down to highs from a couple months ago, too.
Yeah, because I think your thesis is correct. That if electrification goes away, it's not going to go away globally.
Right.
And China will likely recover unless Trump squeezes them, which I don't think he's going to squeeze them as much as maybe people think today.
So now I'm so pissed that you came up with the Trump squeeze in China, and that's why the 5% move, because that's a really insightful comment, and I hate when you come up with.
We should just leave it at that then.
I'm going to leave it at that. I'll live to fight again. Just don't worry. This has been Tradier's Rundown. I'm Jim Urio. That's Bob Ichino. Please, thank you guys for all the support we get on Tradier's, the Trader's Edge. We get about half the live eyeballs that CNN's daily program does, and we don't even design it to be viewed live. It's designed to be prepackaged and spread out into the ether. And you guys join us live every Wednesday. We love that. Thank you guys very much.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.